As we're building Me and My Money, it's very important that we get people to understand that not only do they have to take control of their lives, that they have to be willing to face up to the current situation that they're facing, and that they are the ones that can actually make a difference in their life. And I like to talk about this in the context of Colonel Stockdale. Colonel Stockdale was the highest ranking prisoner of war in Vietnam. He was captured, and he really suffered brutally at the hands of the Vietnamese. They tried to take every advantage of his high ranking and really make him an example that they could use in a public way. But Colonel Stockdale didn't let this happen. Now, he has since passed away. He passed away about 5 years ago. But when he got back, there was a conversation that he had with he and Jim Collins. Jim Collins is the person that wrote the book Good to Great. And Jim Collins was interviewing him and said, well, tell me, who didn't survive in Vietnam? And Colonel Stockdale sat back and he said, it was the optimists. That took Collins kind of off guard a little bit. And he said, the optimists, what do you mean? He said, well, the optimists are the ones that said, I'm going to be out by the end of January, or I'm going to be out by Memorial Day, or I'm going to be out by the 4th of July, I'm going to be out by Thanksgiving, and I'm going to be out by Christmas. And every time one of those dates passed, they became more and more depressed. They just couldn't deal with it, and eventually they died. They probably died of broken hearts. Collins sat back and he said, well, how did you survive? And he said, it's because I became very clear around a paradox, and that is never lose confidence that I would be successful in the end, but at the same time be willing to face the most brutal facts of my current reality. And I've thought about that a lot over the years. That is a tremendous lesson that Jim Collins used it in talking about business. I say this is a message for individuals too, is that we can have tremendous confidence that we will ultimately be successful in what we want to accomplish. But unless we're willing to face up to our current situation and what is really happening into our lives today, and the actions that we're taking in dealing with those the things today and going forward, we are not going to be successful. We are going to be like the optimists. An optimist from a consumer standpoint would be somebody that says, well, I'm going to get a new job next year, and that's going to solve everything. Or I'm going to win the lottery next year, and that's going to solve everything. Or I'm going to do something else, and that's going to solve everything. But they're not really facing up to what they can do to, in fact, make those outcomes occur. I'm going to get trained to get a new job, and I'm going to go to a different community, and I'm going to build my life there. Whatever it is, it's facing up to your reality in order to get to your future. And that's the lesson of Colonel Stockdale.